The mod train is choo-choo, it is moving. We got 17 more mods today to take a look at for FS25. 16 new ones dropped for all platforms, and we've got one new one for PC and Mac players. Check those timestamps to see what you want to see first. Otherwise, let's jump right in. Starting off, we have new mods for all platforms. These are going to be for PC, Xbox, PlayStation, all that. We have a super modified version of the Skoda Kodiaq RS Plus. This is from Just Farming. Now, this has been fully modified with several configurations, like an opening tailgate with straps in the back, which is super cool. We've got all four doors, which can be opened and closed, seat and wheel, as well as lights. Now, customization options are pretty simple. So with the rims, we have the Sagittarius. We also have the Aero version, so you can go back and forth between those. Windows, you've got a tinted or not tinted, and then parcel shelf on the very back. It's going to be inside right there. You can add one of those or not. And then, of course, you've got your main colors and your interior colors, which can be changed. However, no rim colors. As far as your specs, you got 190 horsepower, goes 111 miles an hour, weighs 1.8 tons, 60 liters of fuel, manual transmission. I am on PC using an Xbox controller, and all of these animations can be found up at the top left-hand corner. So let's turn it on and see what we've got. First up, we're just gonna have a couple opening doors. So the front and, well, both front doors. There you go. Now that's going to be with the left bumper. If I push that again, we can open up the back, and we've even got some straps there. So if you wanted to throw anything in the back, maybe you've got some little handbags, something like that, you can throw out handbags, little 50-liter bags of seed and fertilizer, stuff like that. You can throw those in the back. Then, if we press the right bumper, we've also got opening back door. So both of these doors can be opened up when you see inside, which, again, I think is pretty cool. We also have all-wheel drive, which is just, or all-wheel steering, I guess it is all-wheel drive. We have all-wheel steering with this, which is really good, and I gotta be honest, it handles on a dime. It doesn't slide around, the rear end doesn't go whee! It holds, baby. It holds. Like, I'm having a hard time actually getting this thing to break. Then lastly, we have we have seat and steering wheel animations. And I wanted to open the door here so you can actually kind of see these. So we've got seat forwards and backwards. We can also tilt it back if you would like, and that is not going to be shown with the person. So the seat just moves itself. Your view does not change. And then lastly, we have the steering wheel up and down. But that's not all. If we go into first person, down at the bottom down here, there is a switch. Oh, crap, wrong button. There we go. Can you see that? That is pretty cool. Yeah. There we go. I got to reset it. So you can kind of see there with everything moving around. Yeah, there you go. That is your Skoda Kodiaq RS Plus. Very cool mod. All right, on to the next one. That next mod is the Lizard Flatbed Trailer. This is from NMC's T-Bone, and it is returning. This was a very popular mod previously, so it is back again to rock and roll. We've got some configurations here for auto load. So if you go with that, you're gonna have auto loading support for all of the standard bales. So you've got the round bales 125, 150, 180, and then square bales from 120, that is your baby bales, and then 180, 220, and 240. So all base game bales from a baler work with this. However, no cotton bales, so don't worry about that. Extensions, you can throw an extension, but it's just a little lip on the front of it. And then we've got colors for the main design and secondary design and rim colors. This is a hefty boy. It is basically the size of a semi-trailer. It's got a pin hitch on here, if that matters to you guys. Again, 4 axles from front to back, and no hitch on the back, so you're not going to be hooking multiple of these together. The next mod on our list today is the Fortschritt T 088 pack from AAA Modding. This trailer is available in multiple different configurations. We have a 12,000 liter tipper trailer, then we go up to a 25,000 liter forage trailers. Forage only, not bulk crop. Then, if we go back down, which, by the way, we have a design for that, we'll take a look at it. We have a manure spreader. This is just a straight-up standard manure spreader, only manure, and then a fertilizer spreader. This will fertilize lime and solid fertilizer. Fertilize? Spread. There you go. As for the wheels, they are going to be the same on all of these. We have a track option, which is super duper cool. Love seeing that on here. And we've even got a design on here if you go with the Forge trailer. These are going to be a standard design, which what comes with an active side of right, left, or you can take away the roller in the back. So a couple different nice options there. And of course, we got chassis and rim colors. And here is all of the trailers side by side. Not as much size difference as I thought there was going to be between them. And there's an Arian for size comparison if you need it. I will say this, I'm not seeing anywhere where it says the spreading width on these, so that is a mystery, at least for now. We unfortunately still don't know. So this is the spread on the Manure, and as far as I can tell, on solid fertilizer and lime, it's basically identical. What is that? Is that like a 12 meters? Maybe 10, possibly 8, something like that. Unfortunately, even at the top left-hand corner, if I go into both of these, you get nothing. So there's nothing with these at all that will tell me what it is. And aside from getting out a tape measure, I would have no clue. But it's not a oh, you know, wait, hang on a minute. I think I got an idea. Okay, so it says 10 meters if I go into the GPS. So even though 10 meters is the default for anything without a number on it, maybe 10 is the right answer? Still don't know for sure. This one is a little bit easier to guess. This is the Fortschritt HTS 127. It doesn't have the name Fortschritt at the beginning of it for some reason, but it is still from AAA Modding. So very cool to see them coming back with their stuff. I know back in previous Farm Sim games, the Fortschritt stuff from AAA Modding, very, very cool. So happy to see them returning. This tanker will hold slurry and digestate. 10,000 liters of it, 80 horsepower is required. It's going to weigh 4 tons empty. It's got a 10-meter spread and 9 miles an hour, which kind of makes me think the other one was 10 meters as well. Configurations through here, we have a standard set, which is blue. Then we change that up to a brown chassis, and we have a green chassis, or for those boldly minded, the red chassis. Or you can do custom yourself. So we have the chassis color itself, so you can choose any of those or any other color that you want. We also have the main color, which can be changed up, which we have a couple different picks, but you can choose your own, and even rim colors. But if you want, you can go back in it. But that's just going to be the regular chassis colors, so you can still change up the tank and the rims. Speaking of the rims, we have a couple goodies in here. So a couple different wheel sets, plus tracks. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And just in case you wanted to see it, here she is in the game. Up next, we have the Lizard AACR2. This is a plow normally used after sugarcane harvest. So if you wanted to role play with that, this may be a good mod for you. Most of the mods for Dex and Teak 2 are for that as well. With this plow will require 120 horsepower. We have multiple setups between 1.7, 2.2 and 2.7 meters. Now, of course, we add a bar to that every time, or a share, and it is going to increase your power, although it's really not too bad for the biggest one, 180 horsepower. We do have the rod color as well, so we can go with a black. We also have the silver blade, fully colored, and then back to black, and then we can change up the main color of the whole thing itself. Let's go with green too. Love that color. Next up, we have another vineyard subsoiler. This one is from Wolfx Modding. It holds 200 liters of solid fertilizer, so you can subsoil and fertilize all at the same time. Pretty cool there. 65 horsepower is required. It's got a 1.5 meter working width, and it will go at 7 miles per hour. So pretty good. And the fact that it's low power, it's a subsoiler, and it will fertilize all at once, that is definitely 2 thumbs up. If you need a disc harrow, we got another one for you. This one is the Lizard B32D. The disc harrow requires 70 horsepower. It's got a 3.4 meter working width at 9 miles per hour. Hooks up via 3-point, and we have multiple different colors to choose from for that frame. Next, we have a pack. This is, well, something I can't pronounce. It is the
Forigo Roteritalia
Shredder's Pack. There you go. This comes in 3 different sizes. We have a 5 meter, a 5.6, and a 6 meter. As we go through these, you can tell we have a lot of customization options. These, as far as I can tell, are going to be identical across the board, so we will just take a look at the largest one to give you an idea of what to expect. I will say one of the nice things about these is they could be used as mowers or mulchers. So maybe you don't need a mulcher, maybe you don't mulch your fields, but you need a mower. This might work for you too. So let's take a look. For the largest version, we have a Well, it says 5 meters here. I think they copy and pasted stuff. It is 6 meters. The design on the very back, we could go with a roller setup. We also have wheels. So you can add wheels to roll around, or you could go with the roller. If you go with the wheels, you do have a rim color, so heads up there. Position of the design, we could change that up, so you can raise that if you wanted to. Top link position, this is going to just refer to the pin, although the little ball in there doesn't change. I don't know if it's supposed to, but it doesn't. That's all I know. As far as the attachment type, this is going to be different colors of your PTO and different widths of your hitch. Now, a lot of the times, things won't line up really with mods. Most of the stuff at the base game lines up fine, but you may have a mod or something where the 3-point doesn't line up. That's where you could adjust this to line up properly. Then we have position of the deflectors around towards the very back. You can open these up all the way if you wanted to. That's kind of cool. In the configuration, this is where you change from a mulcher to a mower. So that's nice. And then, of course, we have a main color, and then you can change the color of the PTO, which I will also say, if we change it to black, can we still change the color? Oh, it's the PTO for the whole thing? Oh, I missed that on my first pass around. Well, there you go. That's pretty cool. I've also got some good news. If you guys are using this as a mower, it does drop the grass. So, heads up there. It will drop the grass. That is very nice. Mow all the bushes! Nom, 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 nom. Next up on our list, we have the Amazon D830 mod from PuzzCap. This is a seeder. It may look familiar to you. We've seen this before. 1,000 liters for seed only and does all of your standard seeding crops. Weighs 800 kilograms, empty, 85 horsepower is required, 3 meters, and 9 miles per hour. As far as your markers, we start with all of them. However, you can delete them. So really, this mod comes with everything, and most of everything you see can be removed. So we're going to do that. We can remove everything and roll towards the back. It says the rake. However, that is going to be your field markers. We could take those off. Main stickers, we have a new or used. How cool is that? Let's go with used for sure. And then we can take away the reflectors. So we can really do a minimalist seating setup with this. There's also a bunch of colors too, so maybe you don't want the Amazon green and orange. You can change those up. We do have the main color with a very used set. Check that out. That's awesome. Or you could change it to whatever you want. We have the design color here, which could be changed up. It's going to be all of your lines and things like that. We've also got a used setup for that. Lightly used actually looks really good. Another design here. It's going to be your discs at the bottom. We have used there too, and even rim colors. So definitely check this thing out if you want something a little bit smaller and you want that used look to everything. Go for it. This is cool. Another mod from AAA Modding. We have the WM185 Mower. 26 horsepower is required for this. Weighs about 435 kilograms, 1.9 meter working width, and it will run at 13 miles an hour. So it's a very small mower, but maybe exactly what you're looking for. Configurations, we have that WM185. You can also change it to the RK, so it'll change it to a red cloth mower instead. Cover, we could change that if you want, and there's even a color for the cover. So if you wanted that to, well, match, for example, change it up to a cloth green, and you're good to go. So, small mower, if you're looking for it, it is here. Last non-placeable mod today is the home weight. I believe this is probably supposed to be the homemade weight, but here you go. It's quite heavy at 3.5 tons. However, you cannot add or remove weight. What we can do is add some customization options, like the circular brush metal. We can also go with an aluminum anti-slip plate, galvanized, regular metal, and then back to it. And then you can change this up from a front or rear weight, which is going to change up that hitch. Then you've got the main color itself, which is going to add a tint to any of the metals that you choose. And then you've got your design color, which is going to be the frame around the outside, which of course cannot be changed. We do have lights on here, so if you do turn on your lights, you will have some working lights with this, whether it's on the front or the back. Now we jump into placeables. We've got 5 of them for you today. The first one is the empty pallet and box production. And this may be one of the coolest production setups that I've seen. Not because of what it does, but how it does it. Around towards the back, well, maybe this is the front. I think I've got it backwards. This, of course, is where we check out the empty pallet box and the empty pallets. So you're going to be inputting planks, plank songs, and wood beam and getting these out. So depending on what you want to go for, you're going to have different things. Our empty pallet box is going to take planks, plank song, and wood beams and output those empty pallet boxes as well as a little bit of wood chips. Then we also have the empty pallets. These will need planks and wood beams. You get those pallets and some wood chips there too. As far as everything goes, there's not a lot as far as your inputs go. 8,000 liters on this planks, 4 planks long, and wood 1 beam. One wood beam. There you go. Wood chips 5,000 liters, which is going to take you a while to accumulate. And then you have 150 liters of the empty pallet box and 1,500 count of those empty pallets. So it doesn't hold a lot. But what it does do is it actually allows you to buy these here instead of having to go in here and then find the empty pallets. No, because the empty pallet mod is not here. That's not where you buy the stuff. You buy them at the production itself. How cool is that? I think that's awesome. So if you need pallets or empty boxes, you could buy them here. But of course, you will need to have this place down. And if you own this, for example, even if you are playing a multiplayer, if you don't own it, you could still buy those products. It's very, very cool. Again, like I said, it's not what it does, it's how it does it. Next is another very cool one. This is the liquid manure dryer. They also say and biofertilizer production. This will do quite a few things, and it is also a silo. So it is not just the dryer, it is also a silo. So you can put back in the things that you took out, which I think is kind of neat. So let's go around, take a look at it. Of course, we've got all kinds of different animations going on around the outside, and we've even got a ladder so we can go up and take a closer look at everything if you wanted to. It's definitely a cool mod, and definitely a lot of time has been spent on it. Now, what can it do? Well, let's go over here and take a look. We can make digestate, herbicide, lime, liquid fertilizer, manure, or solid fertilizer. And again, those things can be put back in it like a silo. So, as for digestate, you need slurry and water, and you can make digestate. It's going to make a lot less digestate than the slurry you put in, so heads up there. As far as your herbicide goes, you need lime and wood chips, but you get an even number in and out. As far as lime goes, it is 15 stones in to 9 lime out. I think that's okay. As for your liquid fertilizer, you need slurry and water. And that's going to give you liquid fertilizer. But again, I think that's maybe a little bit small. I would rather use the slurry there. Slurry into manure, it's, compacting it and putting solids together. But I get it. And then solid fertilizer, again, you're going to need solid manure. And that will make solid fertilizer is a 1 in, half out, or 2 in, 1 out kind of thing there. But again, like I said, after you're done with that solid fertilizer or that lime or whatever, you can bring it back here, put it back in, and then get it out when you need it again. I think this is very, very cool. We've also got a pretty high capacities, 500,000 liters for everything. So that ain't too bad. Next is a cool mod. However, they copy and pasted the description from a different mod. We'll explain it. This is the pig food mixer, and they say this plan allows you to produce total mixed ration. You will need hay, straw, and silage, and it costs $50,000 with $30 maintenance per day. That is incorrect. Though it does cost you $50,000, you cannot produce TMR here, and it does not take hay, straw, or silage, for that matter. It will take barley, corn, soybeans, sunflowers, or wheat, though, so there is that. Each one of these has a different main source, so here you can see we've got 500 corn, 3 barley, 2 soybeans. That gives us 1,000. We get 1,000 pig feed out. We switch over to the next one, it swaps out soybeans for sunflowers, but same thing through there. Then we can switch out the barley for wheat, and then same thing through there. So depending on what you've got, it will make the one that makes the most sense for you. So that is very cool. Although you will always need corn, and you will either need wheat or barley or corn, or not corn, or soybeans or sunflowers. Pig feed's not something that I do a lot with, so I will admit that. However, I do a lot with TMR, and this definitely doesn't do TMR. Nonetheless, super cool if you're looking for pig feed. This one's not too bad. The only thing that I would say might be bad with it is when you're doing pig feed, generally you need quite a bit of it, at least when I've used it, and this doesn't hold a bunch. So I think this is a great production if you've got I don't know, what, 50 to 100 pigs, something like that. You'd want something that's easy. This is pretty easy. Next to last, we have the small sawmill. We have two of these, one that is more of an Asian-inspired building, and one that is more of a, I would say American, but it's not. It's, I guess, other. It's not really inspired by much of anything. I will say this. The modder who made this also released the corn oil mill production last week with the exact same buildings, just different interiors on them. So, if they look familiar, it's because, well, hopefully they should. I'm guessing you remember these. They are both the same, though. So, they hold the same amount. They do the same things. So, heads up there. We can make barrels with two different kinds of things. Bathtubs, same thing. Buckets. We have wood for planks and planks long, prefab wall, wood beam, and wood chips from wood. So there you go. As far as our productions go for these, your planks long, 170 to 250 for the barrels. You're going to see a little bit different with the planks themselves, though. So you will need more planks to get the same amount of barrels. Same thing for the bathtub, 85 planks in, 130 out. Or planks long, sorry. I know those are two different things. Same thing through there. Again, so on and so forth. Just kind of go through these quickly so that you can see them. Oop, that one was cut off a little bit. There you go. Now you can see it. Cool beans. All right. So, again, these are available now. And your last new mod for all platforms released today was the Granaries. Granaries. This is a Polish pack of Granaries. Granaries. I don't know which way to say that. These are pretty cool. So they hold your grains, even though I don't have anything in there right now. When you open them up, they are full. So there's that. They're also not going to hold a lot. So for American players, these may not be exactly what you're looking for. They are a silo, but I don't know. There's got to be like another way to use these. Maybe for chicken feed or just having something readily available. Either way, they are going to have capacities of 5,000, 3,000, and 2,000 liters respectively. 5,000 over here for the big one, 2 right here, and 3 for this one. I put them down like that just because that's the order that they were in on the mod hub. Nonetheless, there you go. They will hold a small amount, which is, you know, not bad. I'm just not quite sure how I would use these in my game. Hey, if you got an idea, let me know. All right, and your only one for PC and Mac players today is a super in-depth mod. So we're going to show off the basics of it, and then we'll go from there. So this is the towing chain with hook from Kenny 456 in Bulgor. This is available in 3 different lengths, 1.5, 2.5, and 3.5 meters. So a little over 10 feet. All of those have an extra hook with them as well, and there's a reason for that. It's because you can, well, adjust said hook however you want. I will say this, whenever I put the chains down, my sounds are all over the place. Also, this is not meant for people that use a controller. This is all keyboard stuff. And guess what? All my controls are with controller. So I have had to go online and watch all of this. So this is not a mod for people that play like me. I'll just be completely honest with you. All right, so we're going to show this off with the cloth area in here and the old pickup. As you can see, the audio is real wonky, and for some reason, it's only when I put the chains down, the audio gets weird. So we will ignore all of that. First things first, we need to find that red mark, and we will back up to it, and that's gonna hook up to the vehicle that we want to move. If you go to pick up the chain, let's say you go to pick up the red spot, it is not going to pick up the red spot. It will always act like you've picked up the silver area. So heads up through there. So now that we've got this, now we need to hook up to the truck. And how are we going to do that? Well, first things first, there are no hitches on said truck. So we've got to put one on there. So we can press the left shift and the T key as trucker might say, and we can set a few things. So you've got attach by hand, show the help menu, show the chain ID, which doesn't really matter, chain ID distance, also chain ID operating distance, steering modes, and turn on or auto turn off vehicle. So there is that. Now we need to press the X button. However, before we do that, we've got some stick drift going on. I need a new controller. We've got to mount a tow hook. So I'm going to press the letter Z, and it is just going to magically appear. Boop. There it is. It's just there. And we need to move it. So I got to come up here to it, and I need to adjust everything. I'm going to press the left Alt key on my keyboard, And then on the numpad on the side, we've got 7 goes up, 9 goes down, 8 goes out, and 5 goes in. And then 4 and 6 go kind of side to side. If you hold for a while, it will pull it at a very, very quick rate. So I'm going to put myself one of those right there. And we'll see if I can get it just inside. There we go. And we want to bring it down so it looks like it's coming out right there. I think about like that, maybe. Yeah, it's about as good as it's going to get. So we're good there. So now we need to grab our chain. So got the chain. Oh, I can't reach it. So I got to pull this forward. Best to always have a little bit of overlap anyway. Most of the time if you're using a chain, you're probably not worried about the other vehicle, although, I mean, things like this are fun, but again, it's just not my my cup of tea. Just is what it is. So we'll bring this over here, and we need to mount or switch it up. So we need to hit, I think it's the letter X. There we go. And it attaches. And now we can go. But because this is scripted, at least as far as I can tell, we're not able to control that vehicle in the back. Now, they do say that you could switch between the steering mode of the towed vehicle. So there is that. However, on a controller, it does absolutely nothing. So heads up on that one. I can press it again, but at least with my controller and my keyboard setup, it ain't doing nothing. Kenny does have a video on this, which you can find on the mod hub if you guys are playing on PC. But again, like I said, for somebody with the settings set up the way that I do, from the way that I play, this mod is, well, it just kind of is what it is. Super cool though, super awesome. And Kenny shows it off way better than I ever could. And there it is. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you learned something about these mods. If you did, drop a like on it, get subscribed if you're new, and join the DjGoHam fam. Double check those notifications. That way, hey, you never miss when new mods drop for FS25. Hope you have an awesome day. Enjoy these mods. We'll catch you in the next one.